Hello. What's up? Buongiorno. Bonjour. Hola. Okay. Now, I'm not quite sure on the year for this one, but I was at SOHO'S Coffee and Tea House in DuPont Circle, right next to the P Street Bridge in DuPont Circle, Northwest Estrada, D.C. You guys call it Washington, D.C. I call it Estrada, D.C. because of everything. The overall top and bottom, because of the entire package of me. Period. So, and all therein. So, I run into one of the regular patrons at SOHO'S Coffee and Tea House. I have another video log about my legendary historic days in that place of business on 21st and P Street, Northwest Estrada, DC, right next to the P Street Bridge that links into Rose Park in Georgetown, DC. That goes from 1997 to 2001. But that's for another video log. Okay. Let me just say this. The owners of the business, Colleen and Fran, had an 8x10 black and white photo of me, cropped and framed in glass with blue framing, royal blue framing, directly placed above the ladies' restroom in SOHO'S Coffee and Tea House during that period. And that photo was taken of me by a random stranger through a vintage Polaroid camera who was sitting to the right of me when I was sitting to the left of him on the couch, beaming through the wall. I had such a laser beam focus as I was staring at the wall that it looked like laser beams were coming out of my eyes and burning perfect holes, sizzled with smoke and fire through the wall. Like out of a sci-fi epic fantasy movie or some page of a comic book series. And this person to my right took a photo of me. And he said, "I'm sorry I didn't ask you. Forgive me, but I had to capture this. I don't know who you are." So this is 1999. This is late 1999 inside of Alt Cafe in the Lower East Side of New York City, New York, Manhattan, right across from the legendary historic Tompkins Square Park. And it's the tail end of 1999. And he sees me sitting there. And when you look at this photo, it looks like I'm shooting laser beams through the wall, really, literally. So he says, "I don't know who you are, but I sense something about you that's going to be quite epic one day. I'm sorry I didn't ask to take this photo of you, but here is your photo for you. And here's my card. If at any point you have any problems and you want me to remove the negative, I will meet you and do that." And I said, "Okay, no, that's fine." I never contacted him. I kept the photo. So that's the photo that was encased in glass and placed above the ladies' restroom door of SOHO'S Coffee and Tea House. Now let's go back to the beginning of this video. I'm going to redirect again. So I run into a patron who went by the name of Ven, spelled in my Roman Latin letters of V-E-N, like pen, Ven. And one of the things that Vin did was photography. So he had this black, I believe, Labrador named CUJO with him. I think at the time he was watching and taking care of a house in the heart of Georgetown nearby for the actual homeowner. So I don't remember all the details exactly, but he says, hey, this is when I went by my, oh, well, I won't get into that. But anyhow, he says, Jorge, let's go. Would you like to come with me to Harpers Ferry? And I'd been to Harpers Ferry before, West Virginia. Okay. Hold on here. Okay. So I'd been to Harpers Ferry, West Virginia before. Right next to the Simon Bolivar field or battlefield. There was a battlefield. There's an entire plot of land, a field named after Simon Bolivar. So I said, sure. So I jumped in the pickup truck with Ben, and we went to Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Okay. I had my trademark heirloom black leather coat that was my father's. I had my, at the time, trademark known throughout DC, by foot, on foot, visibly in person, through the streets of DC, trademark 2.5-inch heel, black soft, genuine leather boots with a zip on the insides, vintage retro of the 70s. I had my candy apple and blood red Roman Latin Iron Cross Laconia t-shirt on. And I had my trademark black leather band that buttoned here where the wrist is. And so I had all of that on. Those were all the trademarks of me back then. And we get to Harpers Ferry, and I climb. There's scaffolding in front of the church there. So I climb the scaffolding up to the very steeple of the church and sit. I wrap my legs around the steeple, and I'm at the very top. And I told him to get directly underneath me and point his camera upward with me smiling downward with a wicked grin in the darkness, in the twilight of night. And he did. He took that photo. It was amazing. And then I had him take photos of me sitting on top of a wine barrel in on a cobblestone street. This is during the twilight hours, so it was very dark. It was extremely dark. It was black out there. Okay? All right. Then, as we're walking towards, as we're walking a certain direction, a bat flies right in front of me. I hear something flying at top speed. I could hear its movement in air. And the bat flew right in front and inverted its body in front of me and past me. And then I heard a loud thump and thud on the tree. And the bat was hanging upside down with its wings open. Then I saw the bat close its wings. So then CUJO and I kept walking. And then we went and we saw a giant rock. We saw a mound, a giant rock plateau overlooking the Shenandoah River. And I went to the top. And I didn't even know that it was a replica of the album photo called Conquest of Paradise that's supposed to be of our Columbus. But it ended up being me on top of the mound, on top of the plateau, and then took that photo of me.